Welcome back to episode 62 of the Not So Serious Life. I am Jason Goldberg. That is Steve Chandler and his Death Wish coffee over the top stress ball thing. When do you feel like that sometimes, Steve?
I'm going to talk about this. You know, if you watch the show Limitless,
Yep.
you'll see that the hero of that show has one of these things. And I hadn't seen one of these things since I was a little boy. My mother gave me one and said, anytime you want to freak out and embarrass me and all your friends and family members, just squeeze this instead, and all your anger will go away. And so the guy in Limitless, he has one of these on his desk. And every once in a while he'll grab it and squeeze it. And it is a much greater stress reliever than the pharmaceutical. If the pharmaceutical companies really knew how effective this was, they would try to eliminate it. They would try to get rid of it because they would no longer be able to sell Xanax or any of the other drugs they sell if people would just buy this guy, this little guy. He looks so innocent, doesn't he? Cute little guy. And all you do is squeeze them, and all your stress goes away, and you feel at peace, and all of a sudden you're one with the universe.
So if this is the last episode of the Not So Serious Life, it's because the pharma companies shut us down because of what you just told everybody.
I'm sorry. We're not afraid of anyone.
We're not. We are not afraid. We'll offend people over and over again if we have to.
We have already, and so that's a sign of a good show.
You want to do it again now?
No, not right away.
Well, let's try. Okay, so our question for today comes from Alex. And Alex is one of those wonderful names that I never know if it's a man or a woman, and there were no pronouns in the backstory, so I have no idea. So Alex, thank you, he or she, for sending this in. The question is, how do I overcome my imposter syndrome and stop feeling like a fraud? So Alex says, it often feels like everything I succeed at is from luck and not based on my abilities. Now, I'm not the kind of person who thinks that individuals are born something, and I'm very keen of the growth mindset. But in spite of this, especially when I'm a little extra nervous or anxious, this imposter syndrome pops up to the surface. So Alex asks, how do I overcome my imposter syndrome and stop feeling like a fraud?
Well, I mean, it's one thing to feel like a fraud. It's another to actually be one.
Correct.
And so I would get real clear on the difference between the two and it does not sound like you're a fraud, because the question would be, how do I keep getting away with what I'm getting away with? And so that's not the question. The question is, how do I not feel like a fraud? And the way to not feel like anything, the way to not feel anything is to not think it, because the feelings come from thoughts. And so I would really meditate on the question, like Byron Katie would have you do, or Socrates, and that would be, you're a fraud. Is that true? Is it really true that you are a fraud? And you will find out that you're not, that you're always doing the best you can. You're always as truthful as you can be. You're giving it your best shot. And your successes weren't just luck. I mean, success doesn't really work that way in the world. It isn't just blind luck. And so examine it, meditate on it, brood upon it, take long walks. And once you get really clear, you won't feel that way anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And it's also a thing where, like you said about luck, is look at the evidence. Right? The evidence is going to tell you what's happened. And it's luck is like a fluky kind of thing, right? Like nobody is able to access luck all the time, right? Like so, and I was the same way when I was in IT. We had these really advanced projects, and no matter how many certifications I got or how many like crazy projects I was able to figure out and whatever, I always was worried like, okay, this next project is going to be the one where they figure out that I have no idea what I'm talking about. Right? It's like we never give ourselves, and this is something that Martin Seligman wrote about in Learned Optimism, about like us thinking that it's luck, something outside of us that's doing this, instead of us taking really ownership of what we're creating. And so that was kind of one shift for me, is just looking at the actual evidence. Like it's not a fluke. I keep being successful at a lot of different things. But then the other thing I'm wondering, Steve, is what if we stop looking at luck as a bad thing? Right? Like what if luck is just like another resource that we have access to, like money or experience or whatever? Like okay, so Alex didn't write in the question saying, I feel like every time I buy something, it's only because I had money. So how do I overcome my stress around using money to buy things? And it's like, well, who cares? Just add luck to the list of the things that you happen to be good at that are at your disposal, along with your work ethic, along with your abilities. Maybe sometimes luck does play into it, and maybe that's okay.
I love it.
I can tell. I feel like you're processing right now. Did I just blow your mind?
No. I have a lot to learn, and I'm learning with every one of these episodes. Sometimes I'll go back and watch some of the previous episodes.
Sometimes. That's good, yeah. Yeah, I tend to watch all of them because I'm really committed to the work that we do, Steve. But, I mean, it's okay. Sometimes it's all right. Nothing's bad. Everything's okay.
I'll step it up.
Who was your friend, by the way? You had a friend on the couch back there. What happened to your friend?
This friend?
Yeah, now he's on your lap. How did that happen?
We'll talk about this friend in the next show.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, well then I won't waste any more time. Keep sending your questions in to questions@thenotsoseriouslife.com. Head over to our website, thenotsoseriouslife.com. Sign up for the Inner Circle. Share this episode with your friends if they are dealing with some fraud, imposter syndrome stuff and on their end. Steve is floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. And we will see you next time on The Not So Serious Life. Peace out.
Bass.